And as an 11-year-old, I like a little treat. And I like
same.
free software, and I will download a virus on my parents' desktop.
I literally destroyed my parents' computer like at least twice by downloading viruses onto it. We went through 2 different computers because I just wrecked them. That was the kind of child I was.
Yeah.
So I understand.
Yeah, no, I had a moment like that because I was trying to play some of the original Spyro games. And I just Googled download Spyro the Dragon or something. And I was
that's awesome.
Like 8. So that wasn't good. And I was like, what happened? I just wanted my dragon on the computer. Anyway, let me get back on topic. Question number 2. What made you interested in Vocaloid music alongside using Vocaloid software in your own work?
So, I had been making music for like a couple years. It's like a couple years back when I was like 13. I hadn't really made anything with like vocals at that point yet. I had written some songs, like I'd written lyrics before, but I never actually like properly recorded anything, for the most part. But I was on Tumblr at the time, as many 13-year-olds were back in the day. And I had a friend who, like, just one night, he sat me down and was like, I need to show you Vocaloid music. I am obsessed with Vocaloid music. I need to show you. And we just we went through a bunch of like VG person re-uploads of Nico videos. And I remember very distinctly the first vocal synth song that I feel like ever really gripped me. That I was like, whoa, I've never heard anything that sounds like this. It was specifically the EZFG song, Hurting for a Very Hurtful Pain.
That's so true. That is so true.
I mean, that song still goes crazy, and I feel like you can tell that that's something that I would love listening to it, because it's got like really frenetic break stuff going on. That song's such a banger. Like, I still love it. I've always been somebody who like really liked aggressive electronic music. I was listening to Aphex Twin and stuff at this point. Like Venetian snares, which like I found Venetian snares because people made custom drum charts of it for Rock Band, and like, you know, it's like, oh my god, this is like 5 billion notes per second, and also this music is crazy, I need to listen to more of it. And then so I was like, I was listening to music with names, with song track titles that I should not have been reading when I was 13, but you know, it is what it is, I suppose.
It is what it is. I'm just gonna ask this question out the dome. Would you ever make a song that's a little more freaky, compositionally, not freaky lyrically? We know you, but
I mean, yeah. You know, this is coming from Miss, you know, Raw Dog. I've been there.
Yeah, we've been there. You guys had
I need a hot dog loving tonight.
Yeah, you had to rewrite the whole song to put it on the radio last time. Yeah. But like, would you ever make something that's a little creepy, like weirdly sounding? You want to do that?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I get what you mean. A lot of the stuff that I've been making recently has been much more in that vein. I've been trying to, because I feel like with Constant Companions, I've kind of pigeonholed myself a little bit sonically. I never intended for I honestly never intended for the like kind of electronic rock fusion thing that I've got going on that album to be something that I held on to forever. And a lot of the stuff that I'm making now, I mean, it still has guitars, because I think I've accidentally gotten to the point where that's just a permanent aspect of my style now. But I have been messing around with like hardware synths and hardware samplers and like making really freaky stuff that's very much in the vein of the sort of stuff that I was listening to when I was like 12 and 13. And I have a couple songs in the back pocket that are hashtag freaky with it. I've been trying to get weirder with song structure and everything too, not just production, you know.
Yeah, I'm really excited to to some freaky stuff from Jamie P. But also, I do have an announcement. So the show is so popular, the stream went down, and that's why people can't hear. I just heard from the tech director. If you're hearing this now, you survived the purge. But apparently I have to go reset something to make the show work. So we will just keep going with the music if you can hear it. And
all right, fantastic.
The next song is Monte Carlo by Audio featuring Goomy.
Yeah.
Yay! Okay, I'll see you later, Jamie.
Okay, bye.
Wow. Hello. My name is Tim Byrne, and we're listening to vocals of WNYU 89.1 FM. We should be back. Some people should be here. Again, I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties. Jamie Page is just so absolutely fire that the website broke. But we moved. Anyway, Jamie P, you still there?
Hi.
Hello. Anyway, first of all, I do have to say what we were just listening to, because I forgot last time. We just heard Spoil Little Vodka, a cover by Jamie P, originally by Underscores, and Lamaze featuring Kasane, Tattoo Reason 2085, and Manifesto, also by Jamie Page, featuring Gumi and Kasane, Tattoo Reason 2085, and Monte Carlo by Audio, featuring Gumi, released in 2023, and finally, kicking off the whole show, we heard Object of Affection by Jamie Page, featuring Henri, Gumi, and Kasane, Tattoo Reason 2084, and we heard Nothing Else. Anyway.
Nothing else.
Yeah, nothing else. Anyway, Jamie, a little birdie has told me that you have an announcement to make to us about oysters? What's that?
Yes! I would like to tell you about the Billion Oyster Project. Alright, let me put on my best PSA voice. Before European colonization, the area currently known as the New York Harbor used to contain half the world's population of oysters. A key figure in the local ecosystem, these oysters filter nitrogen from the water, prevent erosion, and reduce flooding. Through overharvesting and industrial pollution, however, these numbers have now near diminished. The Billion Oyster Project aims to restore the oyster reef population through reef reconstruction and monitoring, all through the help of volunteers and public school students. For more information on how to get involved, go to billionoysterproject.org. Again, that's billionoysterproject.org. This has been a public service announcement from WNYU.
Oh my god, thank you, Jamie Page. I want Billion's oysters too. Guys,
I would love delicious yum.
Delicious yum, but we can't eat them. We have to repopulate them, and then we can eat them.
Oh my god!
And then we can eat them. No, we can eat them after. It's okay.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, thank you for that PSA, GP. But yeah, let's just jump right into some other questions right now. I want to talk to you a little bit about music production. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
I was kind of hoping you
What if I said no?
No, I was kind of hoping. I don't even know what I would have said, but I was like, there could be a bit here. What if you did say no? I'd be like, okay, we'll move on to something else. But
I'm not feeling it.
You said yes. So, I'm wondering, and a couple other people are wondering, because I did make a tweet being like, ask Jamie P questions via me, I'm your vessel. A lot of people want to know, and also I want to know, how do you start when you compose a song, and where do you get your inspiration from?
So, usually my starting point for a song is that I'll get some snippet of a melody, or maybe just like a turn of phrase that I think is really catchy, just stuck in my head. And the way that I write, I usually will like take that one phrase or that one little bit of a melody, and I'll flesh that out into just a little single chorus. Like just one little vertical slice of a song. And I just sort of like work out from there. Just writing what comes to me off the dome. And I feel like my inspiration, I write a lot of a lot of music that's just based on how I'm feeling at any given moment. And honestly, like, writing music is kind of my way of dealing with those emotions and processing them. And I feel like that's honestly just where a lot of my inspiration comes from. It's just like where the point I am in my life, the things that are just happening around me in the moment, and me trying to navigate it.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. And that's cool that music can be like a vessel for you to do that. So what were you thinking about when you wrote Raw Dog? Don't answer that.
Hot dogs.
Hot dog, yay!
Hot dog. I was thinking about The King of Rock and Roll by Prefab Sprout.
Is that the actual
dog.
answer?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay, I'll take it. Okay. Anyway. Yeah, no, sorry I had to make a bit out of it.
No, it's fine. I love bits. Please.
But yeah, no, music as a way to process things. Love that. And kind of just like going more into music production, quite a few people ask, what do you consider to be the most difficult part of composing? Is there a song that you made that you consider to be particularly challenging to have made?
Honestly, so like I was saying, I start with just a vertical slice of, I start with a vertical slice of the song, and usually from there, I can kind of intuit what, like the verse or like the B section will sound like based on that. I feel like honestly the hardest part of composing is figuring out how to end a song. I'm the kind of person that like I will listen. I love listening to music on loop. I could listen to the same song on loop for 10 hours straight and just, you know, be hunky dory. I have that kind of brain. And that's I think that's part of the reason why all my songs end up being too long. But like, because I never want to stop. Like I write a good loop and I never want to stop listening to it. You know?
So real. It's so real.
Honestly, so yeah, it's like the hardest part of writing a song is